Okay, Jeff Kiani with Branded Agent University, and today, quickly, I'm going to show you one of the advantages that the Branded Agent Learning Management System gives you when it comes to sitting down one-on-one with your team members. If you're trying to be a better coach, a better mentor, it's going to give you information that allows you to do that better. Also, it's going to give you insight into who's doing what in your system, which can be helpful in a number of different ways, especially the onboarding process. If you want to see where somebody is in those steps of things that you include in your onboarding process, there's a way to do that. And also a way to track who's watching what so that it can benefit you maybe even in your agent attraction strategies. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and go over the examples that I just described. Okay, so just as a reminder, one of the things that we do is create a custom learning management system for you that has all of your branding and everything. You can include your own training content. A lot of people just send their content to us and have us add it, but you can add all of your own. The entire NAEA training library is in there as well. So you've got a complete learning management system to have your team members log into. There are two ways that a lot of people end up here. A is when they're ready to join the team, you're going to have them create an account at your university, and that's where they're going to go through the onboarding likely, and any files, videos, training, anything that they need. The goal would be that that's accessed through your university. So it makes it really easy and eliminates anybody from being a bottleneck. The other way that people might end up here is if you have some training that you're allowing people to access regardless of them being on your team. So a lot of people use that as a way to add value up front and build credibility and authority with the audience. And they also are able to track who does what once those people create an account and log in. So, a real simple strategy could look like, let's have an hour-long free training that's accessible to anybody. I'm going to go out on my live stream or the next live workshop I'm at. I'm going to tell everybody to create an account in our university to access that training, regardless of whether or not they decide to partner with us. And then I'm going to come back and look at who created an account, who actually watched that hour-long training, who watched all of the hour-long training. And now I have a way to prioritize who I want to call back first. So those are two quick descriptions on how you might end up here creating an account. We can always hop on and talk more about that if you want to schedule a call. All right, so let's assume that I created an account. Those of you that well, you will be, if you're setting up your system, you're going to be an administrator. But if you have anybody else on your team, you would say, hey guys, can you make them an administrator too? So anybody who has administrator access for your university is going to have access to reports that look like this. And there's a number of different ones you can pull up, but the two most useful, I think, for most people, the ones I'm going to go over today are the user reports and the course report. So let's walk through an example with the user report. If I was sitting down with an agent on the team, let's say that I was sitting down with this individual here, I think this is Sterling. If I was sitting down with Sterling, he's a new agent. I've told him to go through these things inside of the university, the onboarding, to watch this buyer training, how to write a winning offer, whatever it might be. If I had assigned any of that, I'd be able to, when we sit down one-on-one or even on a Zoom or something, pull up a screen share and see here an overview of all the time spent by Sterling in the system. I can click on courses and see exactly what has been completed and what hasn't. I can click on it to see exactly what's been completed inside of that course and what is still left to do. If there were any certificates or something like that that he might have earned with a course, we'd be able to access those. I can access the information if I want in an infograph here. So we have that option as well. But being able to sit down one-on-one with your team members, especially new agents who are coming on board, and you're trying to make sure that they do the right things in the right order, or you want to see what they've done, you're going to be able to pull up a user report by just finding that user and then being able to dig deep into the courses that they've spent time in and any other information. Okay, so imagine you can see how that would be useful. Those of you that are trying to coach and mentor your agents, you can now see what they're doing. All right, so the other thing that is useful is that if you were using that strategy where I mentioned that you're using the university as a value add and you're having people create an account even though they're not on your team, and you want to track the consumption there so that you can follow up with those people. So what we would do is you decide on what the training is that you wanted to have available by default for users. And then we'd be able to pull up a course report on that particular training. So let's say, for example, we had this certified home buying advisor course available for anybody that created an account, whether you were on our team or not. I'd be able to pull up a report on this course and take a look at all the users that are active in it, when they last completed it, the progress, how much time they've spent in it. And so if I know that I'm driving an audience here and giving access away, I can log in, look at the report on that training that I know is the one that's up front, and see who's been the most engaged, who's going to move to the top of the list when it comes to reaching back out to them, right? So this is a great way to, add some value, build some authority by providing some training that hopefully does solve a problem for your audience. And then you can see exactly who's done what. If they've earned a certificate, you can see there, I'm able to revisit it. But those are two really good examples. The third I'll give you is when it comes to onboarding. So we'll create your onboarding inside of the system. I've gone over that in the past, but whatever your onboarding process is, we'll create it here in the system. And so then what you're most likely going to want to do is from time to time, you'll pull up your onboarding and look and see who's going through it. So this is an example of another team, ambassador team. And so I'll pull up phase 1 of their onboarding, and I can see that right now we've got 40 assigned learners, 11 have completed it, 9 are in progress. If I want to dig a little bit deeper and see who's going through the onboarding right now and where they're at, I can get in here and I can see all these people that have completed the onboarding. Great. And then I can see these people who are still going through it. And so I can click on this person and see what's left to be done, right? I can click on any of these people and see what's left to be done or what they've completed. I can also just click on the user and we can get to the user report that I just went over. So I could see here, okay, so-and-so hasn't logged in since October 19th. Let's see where they've spent their time. Okay, they've really just started going through the onboarding here and they've completed the first step, right? So it gives you that information to know what step they're at before you have to reach out to them to figure it out. All right, so I think that's really helpful. I imagine some of you hopefully are nodding in agreement. If it's not helpful, then I'm sorry for wasting your time going through it, but hopefully it is. And if it's something that you think would help you, be sure and schedule a time to jump on a call on the page where you're watching this likely, and we'll jump on a call and show you all the rest of it. This is just one piece, the learning management system. It's a big piece, but we also will help you build your brand as well, doing some things there, all in an effort to help you attract, train, and retain better agents. So schedule a time if it makes sense, and I'll talk to you on our call. Bye.